Hey everyone.
Hi guys.
Look who's here. Look who's here. Abby's back there. We both have gray on, and Abby's gray too.
Yeah, that works.
We totally match.
Sure.
Well, we're still in Wyoming right now, but we're not in Cheyenne anymore.
Wyoming is a very wide state.
Yeah.
We were right on the eastern edge in Cheyenne, and we're almost to the western edge of the state right now at Little America.
We are. We're in Little America. Does anybody know what that is? I don't really even know what it is. They sell Sinclair gas.
Well, we passed a Sinclair gas refinery.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that feature Little America. There's 2 or 3 of them, right?
At least 2.
Okay.
Yeah. That I know
So
of.
that's where we're at right now. And I just, we want to talk about Cheyenne just for a minute. We didn't stay as long as we thought we were going to. We only stayed a week, basically because I wasn't getting any internet. And so also I want to apologize for not having a video out. This one is even going to be just even a little bit later than like doing it just a week.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be like a week and a day. I usually put 3 out a week, but even at Walmart, what happened when we went to Walmart? What was that all about?
Well, you mean the lack of Wi-Fi?
I know.
It didn't help us a bit.
It didn't. I mean, on your purchase, it literally just spun.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, the processing is
No, we let it spin for like a minute, and then we hit the call button to make our register. We were at the self-checkout, and we made the red light come on, and a gal came over, and she said, "What's the problem?" And we said, "Well, it's just sitting and spinning." And she said, "Well, just be patient. It'll work."
I know.
And so, sure enough, about another 2 minutes, and it finally did what it was supposed to do.
So I did a video, and I went to Walmart to see if I could upload it. And on both of my phones, Verizon and T-Mobile, it said that it would take about 3 hours. So I just don't think, and Cheyenne is the capital of Wyoming.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have any towers. Why? Why, Cheyenne? Why don't you have any towers available? Now, Glenna said there was good. She has good, but he has even a different one. So between us, we have 3 carriers, and we did not get.
Right. I did a little bit better on AT&T, but not good enough to upload a video. Yeah. And I couldn't have anyway, so it didn't matter.
So we didn't stay. We stayed a week, and we just, thank you to our host, Dennis and Glenna. Thank you.
They were fantastic.
Fantastic. And it's beautiful property out there. So we really enjoyed ourselves. So, hey, you guys, love you.
Yeah, they said park anywhere you want, do anything you want. Whatever, great. And just let us take the place over if we wanted to. So that was very much appreciated, you two. Yeah,
we went to a Cheyenne rest stop. We went to Colorado, and when we came back up, we stopped at the Wyoming rest stop that was there.
That was the big deal welcome center.
It was.
It was amazing.
I hope you enjoyed all the visuals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Whether they have internet or not, it was still a very nice.
We spent a long time in there. We spent at least an hour.
Yeah.
When does anybody go in the building in a rest stop and spend an hour and don't even want to leave?
Well, there was a lot more to see there than your normal rest stop with just a map saying you are here. There was a lot more to it than that. They had old samples of mining supplies, and I can't remember everything.
And they just saw a lot that was in there. I didn't get every little thing because but yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed all of that. Now, it's so windy out. I just have to mention again, but we talk about it in Quartzsite in Arizona. This is like wind times 10.
Well, I asked 2 different locals. We stopped at a Lee was good enough to find a Denny's restaurant.
We love Denny's. Hey, Denny's.
So we could go there and have a bite to eat. And I asked the waitress, I said, now where were we, first of all? Where in the world were we at that point in Wyoming?
Were we near Laramie? No, we were past Laramie. I don't know. We were not...
Near Rock City, maybe?
Maybe Rock Springs.
I don't know.
Rock Springs.
It doesn't matter. But the wind was blowing like crazy.
Yeah.
And I asked the waitress, I said, is this odd? She said, oh no, that's pretty normal.
Every day.
And then right here at Little America, I got the souvenir t-shirt. Been there, did that, got the t-shirt. Got to do those things, you know.
And then you're looking at a lot of things that are going on in Little America too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I asked the cashier, he's a local, obviously. I said, is this wind a little odd? He said, oh no. He said, if the wind doesn't blow here, that's odd.
Yeah.
And I said, but it's so strong. We had signs on the highway that said 40 to 48 mile an hour gusts. He said, no, that's normal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a high top van, I was holding on, and every once in a while I'd get a gust that wanted to move me a quarter lane over, but I held on and we made it. So
and while we were traveling, you might see along the way, there are these structures that are up on the side of the road. If you see these big fences, they look like wooden fences, but what they are is they're wind barriers. They build them because the wind is so fierce that they want to build them near the highway so they don't blow cars, so it slows down the wind for cars on the highway.
I always thought those were snow fences.
Yeah.
But they're not small pieces of wood, stakes of wood. They're great big things with big openings. So I guess it wouldn't stop snow anyway. It must be a wind barrier. So,
right.
It's pretty amazing. And I twice saw pronghorn right out in the field. 3 of them were running, and they have a cream colored butt, and I could just see them hopping along, so it was easy to pick them out. And then another 3 or 4 of them on down the road were grazing, I believe.
Wow.
And it was really cool to see some wildlife.
Very nice. So the wind is just blowing something fierce. It's just, yeah, just to walk to the Little America store and back, and it's right over there. It's just, yeah, we have to have our windows up, and it's
well, Lee, I didn't have any trouble with my hair.
I know, I did. I know, it's so nice.
And thankfully nice I just had a haircut, so
yes,
yeah, it was
nice,
all set.
Yeah.
Didn't bother me a bit.
That's right. Well, let's talk about Highway 80.
Oh, we learned some things about that, didn't we?
Right, and
we stopped at a rest area, of course. We're never in a hurry, and that's a good thing. I love to travel like that. And this was the I-80. Was it called the summit? The summit of the highest point of I-80 in the country. And to say in the country is really saying something, because where does I-80 originate and end up?
It originates in there's this little town that starts with a T, I forget it, in New Jersey, which is Teaneck, New Jersey, which is part of the New York metropolitan system, and it goes all the way to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
Isn't that amazing?
I didn't know that till we were at this rest stop at the summit, and they've got that, and you'll see the huge statue of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
And it was called the Lincoln Highway. I believe that this is still called. We're not exactly sure. We've had 2 people tell us different stories that no, it wasn't still the Lincoln Highway, and somebody else said no, it is still the Lincoln Highway.
Yeah.
So,
but I believe we were at about 8,700 feet above sea level at the summit.
Yeah.
And it was even more windy at the summit, of course.
I know.
But it was beautiful because of snow-capped mountains around, and it was very nice. And that one was very nicely done, too.
Right. I really enjoy the clouds here in Wyoming. And I mention that because I know you've heard me mention before, that Arizona is known for their clouds. They have unusual clouds. Well, here in Wyoming, I noticed they're kind of unusual every once in a while, but wow, talk about gorgeous clouds, just normal, but they're gorgeous.
That's
And
for sure.
as we're going down the highway, you can see that they're just gorgeous.
The contrast between the fluffy white clouds,
Yeah.
I'm looking at some as we speak
Right.
here, and the deep blue sky is really something to see. It's very beautiful.
Right. Very nice, yeah. So I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to talk about going slow. I'm really enjoying this because a lot of times when I was traveling solo, I would do 6 hours. I'd do 6, sometimes 8. If I just want to get there. Remember, I always say I want to get from point A to point B. Well, this fella here has kind of like changed my system. How
What?
dare you change my system?
There is a part of my body, a large part, I might add, that just can't take that anymore. I mean, I can take it, but it's very uncomfortable. After 5 hours on the highway, that's enough for me. That's enough. And we're in no particular hurry. We're nomads after all.
Yeah.
So why not stop along the way?
Yeah.
And when we say we're traveling 5 hours, that includes these stops that we're talking about. So you can get out and walk, stretch your legs a little bit, and it makes it much nicer.
You could almost do, we were talking about this, you could almost do, if you gas prices, but if you had the money for gas and you wanted to do something, you could go from one end of the country to the other, and you would always have a place to stay in a rest area. There are rest areas all the way across.
And what did Wikipedia tell us? It's 2,900 miles, right?
That's right, 2,900 miles.
That's a long trip.
You could see a lot. So we had it. Highway 80 is the second largest highway. What?
Longest.
What did I say?
Largest.
Okay. Large
Picky,
doesn't
picky,
mean,
picky.
large
But
doesn't
anyway.
mean long.
And
I know,
if
Rodney
it's the-
Dangerfield. Oh,
Now, if
I
it's
give
the-
no respect. Yeah.
if it's the second longest, Lee, what is the longest highway?
Well, in the United States, it's Highway 90. And then that one is 31,000.
I believe so.
It goes from Seattle, Washington to, oh, maybe he doesn't know. You have somebody that lives there. Yeah.
Is it Michigan? No, Wisconsin. No.
Boston.
Boston.
Ah,
Oh, Boston. Yes.
Boston.
That's right.
It's not Boston, it's Boston. Is it Boston?
Yeah,
Is that how they say Boston?
I believe it is. The Boston Tea Party. Yes.
Okay.
And you can drive your car through
Drive
there.
your car.
My son's going to kill me. My oldest son, he lives very near Boston.
Boston.
And
Okay.
he's lived there for, Glenn, has it been 25 years at least? Oh, over that, I think.
Well, so he knows Highway 90.
Well, I'm sure he does. I'm
Does
sure he's traveled
Do you
it a
know,
lot.
Glenn, that it goes all the way? I'm sure he does. All the way to Seattle.
But it amazes me that he has not picked up the East Coast accent, if you will.
Oh.
He's still a Midwesterner at heart and hasn't picked it up.
Okay.
That's okay.
So back to going slow at a snail's pace. I'm enjoying this. We haven't done over 3.5 hours, really. Maybe, well, we did 4 today because we stopped at a rest stop and I don't know, we just thought, it didn't feel right, didn't have a good vibe or whatever. And we thought, let's go to Little America.
And this is much, much nicer. I
Yeah.
like this. There's plenty of trees around.
Yeah.
Although they have almost every row of trees we see in this parking area, they're planted east to west.
I know.
Exactly. So you don't get any shade one way. You don't get much anyway,
I know.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
And it's about, even with the wind, I believe the temperature is 73, 74. But boy, you step out in that wind and it doesn't feel that warm.
Right. So it's fun going slow. And we did a little bit of, well, you saw on my last video that we stopped and saw that sod house and the
Pony Express building.
So we didn't stop too many places in Cheyenne. We basically hung out with Glenn and Dennis, or we went shopping trying to get things together.
And Planet Fitness, don't forget, working out.
We spent a lot of time at Planet Fitness. We've still been going almost every day.
Yeah. I'm not going to try to show mine.
Yours.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
But
So
I got off my butt,
Okay.
as Lee has encouraged everyone to do, and I feel much better for it.
Well, I'd like to report something. I got an email from Google Maps, and they do it every month, and it shows me, and you're kind of sad that you haven't been getting them from them.
No, I haven't.
Do you guys get from Google Maps to tell you a report? It gives me a report. Where have I been? They know a lot about me.
I must tell
you know why they do it to me? Because I know you guys are probably going to read me for this. I'm going to be like, I'm going to get some comments on that. I let him follow me all the time.
Oh, I think I do have that turned off.
Yeah,
I don't want Google to follow me everywhere.
Well, Google does me good. I mean, I work for Google. I know, I do. Hey, Google.
Well, it's just kind of eerie or something.
They know where I'm
I don't
at.
know.
They know where you're at.
I know, they know, but if I don't
they know where
think
you're
about,
all at too out there. They know.
But if I don't think about them knowing, it doesn't bother me.
Well,
But
I forget that they do follow me. So they sent me a report. Well, just in May, I went 3,800 miles.
and still trucking.
Now, so far this year, I've done like 63,000 miles. And they sent me a graph, and it showed that I mean, it's just it went all the way.
I'm sorry, you didn't go 63,000 miles.
What did I do?
6,300 miles. Right? 63,000 is quite a trek. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
It wasn't 63,000.
Huh? It was a bit short of that.
I know. It was 6,300 miles. Now, how long is it around the world? Going around the world, going around the globe?
You got me. I have no idea.
Well, I have gone 6,300 miles, and they told me that I went, well, let's see if we can do the math, everybody. They said I've gone 27% around the globe, the planet.
So that'd be 25,000 or so, maybe?
Oh, very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Lots of traveling.
good. I know. I'll let you all look it up. How many miles does it take to go around the globe? You can put it in comments. Thanks, everybody. Because we don't have our phones.
Google it.
Google it.
I'm sure Miss Google will let you know how far it is.
And then they gave me a report of every place I've been. If I went to a link, it will tell me every place that I went within reason. I mean, especially what I search for, all my searches, a whole lot of Cracker Barrel. And in every city. You can go, oh yeah, it's like walking down memory lane this past month. Yeah. So
I guess it would be nice to know that. But
well, just put it, change your settings.
Yeah.
If they're following me, they're following you.
Well, that's true.
I know.
Yeah. So they know where I've been.
Google, it's like remember the shadow knows.
Oh yeah.
Google knows.
Right.
They know. So yeah. So that was interesting. I got a real kick out of that.
I bet.
That was great.
I bet.
Yeah. So we're off to new places, new adventures, and
really don't know exactly where yet. The one of the thoughts we had, of course, was going to one of our favorite places, which is Santa Cruz, California, on the beach. We love it there. It's beautiful. And $8 to $9 a gallon gas kind of puts a sour note to that, you know? So we don't know what we're going to do.
We don't know. We'll let you know. We don't know where we're going to go, but we're going to give you some, once we kind of, we're going to go somewhere and we're going to hunker down for a little bit. Because I got some business to take care of. I got some videos. I owe you guys some videos. And I owe you guys some, I want to do that meditation tape. And, you know, kind of work on some of the product that I've got going. I still got neck gaiters, everybody. I know it's summer. You know, if you don't want them now, I'm hanging on to them with what I have. And then the winter, some of you might want some new colors in the winter. I wear mine all summer long because I just spray them down. And I got my arm gaiters. And I want to do another exercise video too. So go to Minivan. I know. No, sorry about that. I'll take that out.
Glad that didn't go up my nose.
MinivanLee.com. And I've got those. And if you want to give any gifts, yeah. Oh, yeah. I did look on what I did the calculation on what I've spent on gas. Since I could tell what I've spent because I know the mileage on my new on the 2014 Kia. Yeah, so since March when I left, I've spent about $1,000 on gas. But yeah, it's okay.
Now that's when you left Quartzsite?
That was starting left Quartzsite, went to Tucson, stayed in Tucson month and a half, and then headed to Flagstaff, met Max. I mean, this is my history. I met Max, and then we went to Santa Fe. That didn't work out. Went to Albuquerque. You came down then, and then I headed to Ohio. Had car trouble. Dun, 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 Mighty Mouse on the way. Here he comes to save the day. Yeah, and so if I haven't reported before, it was my battery. Since I put a new battery in, no problems whatsoever. So.
Well, let me ask though.
Okay.
And I haven't asked you this in quite some time because it's starting at every time you hit the key. Are you always putting your foot on the brake now?
It's become a real habit.
Okay.
Not every teeny weeny time, but it was my battery.
Okay. I believe it was too.
It was my battery, yeah. And I knew it couldn't have been the starter because the day that we got the battery, right before that, I was pulling in Cincinnati to a Walmart and my car just died. It died and I thought, oh my God, I couldn't even steer it. The power steering wasn't pumping. Everything just shut down. But when I thought, oh crap. Started again, it started and I thought, well, I know it's not the starter. The starter wouldn't have done that. Yeah. So, yeah.
And I remember a gentleman making a comment when you were reporting on your car troubles.
Yeah.
And he said, I think you had said, first of all, that your battery was like 4.5 years old. And he said, that's the life of a battery. You better replace the battery. Well, whoever you were right on. So thank you for the good tip. That was great.
You. Now, I'd like to hear, you could tell our friends out there, how did you get enough of Colorado, and how did you feel about Colorado? Because I don't think we discussed that.
Well, I went kind of the outskirts. I went the southern part. I went through. Actually, I started in the northwest corner in Grand Junction. I went down through Telluride. And then I spent a lot of time in Durango. I loved the city of Durango. It was a cool city. They had the old historic neighborhood and surrounded.
What was the elevation of Durango?
I want to say about 7,000 feet, but don't quote me on that.
Okay, well that's not too bad.
But it's not too bad, but it was up there.
Okay.
Had a beautiful park that Abby and I could walk in. It was just it's surrounded by mountains, of course. And then from Durango, I went across through, I don't know how many of you remember, what is the fellow that did the C.W. McCall, I think it was his name, that did the CB radio songs, those, kind of humorous songs. And he talked about going down into downtown Pagosa Springs. Well, I went through downtown Pagosa Springs. And it was really a tourist town. But that's okay. Anyway, it was a nice little town. And then I went further south and went up to, let's see, what was next? Colorado Springs. And so
that was kind of a hoity-toity town, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? As a nomad, what bothered me, even the Cracker Barrel didn't want you, said no parking. Yeah. I couldn't park in a Cracker Barrel in Colorado Springs overnight. I mean, which was very strange. I mean, we have stopped at a ton of Cracker Barrels
and patronized them. You know.
Yeah.
We buy, a dinner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or a breakfast, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's about as far as I got. And then I heard someone was going to drive across country from Cincinnati, so I made tracks to Cincinnati. Were I to go back, or had I stayed longer, I would have gone into the interior, right into the mountains, Vail, what are some of the other popular towns, the ski villages and all that kind of thing. And maybe even Rocky Mountain National Park. I've been there. It's been 50.
Well, do you feel like you missed out on it then? Or?
Well, I don't feel bad about it. I mean, we're traveling now and I'm seeing new things, and that'll just be saved for another time. And I must say that on my blog, I kind of teased a little bit my last entry, and I said, well, we're in Wyoming, and that means Yellowstone National Park and the Grand Teton National Park. It's too cold up there for me right now, folks. In Yellowstone National Park this week, they're in the mid-50s, and at night they go down to the mid-30s. And I just thought, I'm going to save this for another time when it's a little bit warmer.
Maybe next year we'll go.
Yeah.
Because neither of us have been to Yellowstone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But we would have had to go now because it does get really crowded. So, yeah.
That's the only problem.
Summer,
if you go July and August, as I understand it, it is packed. You need reservations to do certain things, and so that's unfortunate. But I guess the cold weather has chased me away for now. That's not to say it's off the list forever, but another time.
So, we'll keep you posted on our travels, and we'll take photos, and we'll give you some film and let you see the country. We've really, I've gone 27% around the globe. So I'll keep bringing, and we were laughing because you have done that too. You just didn't get the report of it.
Yeah, I'll have to change my setup on
and
Google.
You can't get those unless you let her know where she is, where you are at all times.
Right,
You got to let her know.
You bet.
Okay.
But it is, and I think above all, I think you'd agree with me, Lee, that what we'd like to do is find some spot, preferably a spot that is where we know where we are. It has good cell reception. You can do your videos and upload them and stay for longer. I don't know how long, but
we have a couple places in mind, and we'll when we get there, and we will hunker down and get some stuff done.
Right, and do some nice filming wherever it is, I'm sure.
Yeah. So until next video.
Yeah.
Guess we'll say goodbye, huh?
Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Nice to talk to you. Glad Lee let me in.
You're gonna be here all the time. You notice I got him wearing his
We're twins. Yep,
you owe me Coke. Now it's coffee. It's what is it, like 3 now?
Yeah.
Remember that game? Well, we play it. I made him play it. It's like, go me a Coke.
And we used to do it for Cokes, but we decided neither of us really drinks Coke any longer, so we're doing it for coffee. We do love our coffee.
I know. Okay, everybody.
Bye-bye.